Preparing. Okay. Good morning. I am higher vibrations and so are you. And I'm going to record this. There we go. Now we have it for so we can save it for later and review it. Okay, so I'm echoing here. Today, welcome everybody. Hello. I know that we were gonna go live on Facebook and on YouTube. Technology is just not cooperating today. So it's just it's us today here on Facebook or on YouTube. So if any of you were alerted on Facebook, I apologize. I had done that ahead of time. Today is a very special day. It's Friday the 13th. A lot of people kind of give this day nervousness and concern of what might come, and a lot of energy started to kind of come through. I brought forward today Elsa, Dillon, and I love Elsa. She's amazing. She's this amazing code breaker, and you can say pretty much anything to her, it feels like, and she'll understand and come up with a very detailed, and it's just beautiful. So in conversation, a lot of stuff started coming forward, and Elsa very rightly declared that we ought to go live with this information. So Elsa Dillon is joining me today. Welcome, Elsa. Thank you for joining us.
Well, it's always great being with Pamela because I never know where it's going to go. Mm-hmm. And I've known Pamela for a little over a year now. And yesterday, Pamela mentioned to me in a text that she felt melancholy after our Trinity show. And the Trinity shows really do trigger all of us, I feel, personally. And I do feel butterfly effects happening with the Trinity show, which is it's just so nice to feel this. Pamela talks about melancholy. So Pamela and I come together and we talk. And she speaks of this melancholy feeling. And I said, I felt it too, but in a different way. And I was telling her my feelings that I didn't want to go in the public eye as much. And, and then I went, this is ego. Yeah. And then I got a huge flood of information while I'm talking to Pamela that we recognize it, we witness this, and then we step aside. Right. Because everything that has been leading to this point in where we are right now is for us to recognize this and step aside. It is bigger than us, much bigger than us. Mm-hmm. We are all tapping into it in all different versions of ourselves. And they're asking us to step inside and have the right angle. Then this just starts like it's like a floodgate opened. And firstly, so I'm speaking with Pamela, and then I had like a double realm come through, which relates to the hawk or the peregrine. And the peregrine is able to see two realms, a closer version and a further version. This is Odin's crows. So there's two crows, they're home, one is on point and one is circling the home. So one is having a greater perspective of the home, whereas one is on point. Now, many people in the sessions we've come to and interviews have said that they all feel that they're at this pivotal point. They're at this point. Everyone talks about this point. This point is frustrating because you don't know the next step from the point because you're at the point, but you can go any way you choose because you're the compass. This is the fifth element spot. Then they did the rabbit hole thing. Which is so cute because Jet, our second son, he comes in 2 minutes before I come in here, and he says, "By the way, I just saw the two biggest rabbits running across the paddock." And I was like, "Yeah, that's because of what we're just about to do. We're rabbit holing with the audience." This information that we're giving is from us, from inside us. It's pure. It's experiences that we've had and happenings that we've had, and we're just tapping into the information and sharing it with you guys for a reason. It's to show you another angle of this situation right now. We've noticed in the news there's a lot of fear and a lot of drama with finances. We've been noticing people through the streets and stuff. Everyone seems very caught up in this other things. It's to distract us. This is what this is all about. It's been to distract us. So now Pamela and I, yesterday in this chat, we take a side step to the left and then allow the spirit, the Christ energy, the whatever comes in. And boy, did it come in a big way. This is similar to the practices. It feels very familiar of how they would heal in the pyramids. It's about debriefing and it's about sharing. And they would come into the middle of the pyramids with 2 or 3. And it was the pupil of one and the pupil of another sharing.
Mm.
I can keep going, Pamela.
Yeah.
You can do that. You can do this with mirror, with yourself. But Pamela brought up an important topic: is that when you do it with just the mirror is kind of like AI. It never has the 2 streams through it. It never has the air or the water through it. Not in the same way, anyway. It has mirror technically is water, but it doesn't have the air. It's a solid. There's something about having the blood or the water in the middle of the pyramid, and then they showed me the building blocks. So I'm in the middle of the pyramid with Pamela speaking, and her vibration is vibrating with me, and it creates this clearing or debriefing or allowing. And what happens is with this energy or feelings or these fear and doubts is they anchor you, they weigh us down to that moment. And this is what happens to ghosts or lost souls. This is what happens to other beings as well. You get anchored in that spot. By debriefing, by sharing, and by vibrating in a kind and loving manner, you allow this to move, and then the rest can come through. So the portholes, the gates, the gateways. So I'm in the pyramid with Pamela talking, and the vibrating is going. And I can see the clearing. And as soon as you see the clearing, this is this feeling of the Christ energy coming through. You open up and you see this gold light. This is these feelings. This is what it is. You debrief, which is what military do, by the way. Mm-hmm. and then you open up. Well, then the building blocks presented. And I'll just share the building blocks, and then I'll stop for a bit. So the building blocks are, so you need the foundation. So you have the square on the base, and then you go up the square, and the square has triangles, and the triangles meet at a point. If you are a crow or a hawk flying above, or an angel or a being from outer worlder, when you look down on the pyramids, it's a dot and then the circle around the square of the base. This is the symbol. This is the key. I go, really? This is it? this is it. This is it. There's a lot more, but I just want to see where Pamela goes from this point now with me. I need to hear your voice.
Wow, I thank you very much. What a great opening. So you inspired my search too. I was like, oh yeah, I have that written somewhere, and I have that written. So, um, the symbol you had just given, this has been coming up a lot, like for me, like I'm seeing it everywhere. Specifically, and it doesn't sound the same, I think, but it when you were talking, I saw, you know how like visually they'll like slide something over the top of another image for you, so you can see it's the same thing. And what I'm seeing is it's everything. You would call it like a blank canvas, a white canvas. It's white, and then there's this it's just real simple circle and a dot in the middle, and it's those lines are black, and and that actually is meant to go over the top. And so I still don't fully know what that symbol means. I do know that Maddie told me that it was some type. She's like, oh, those are the ETs. And so I don't know exactly, because she doesn't have a working, like it's just them. All of them are them that she hangs out with or whatever. And so I don't really know fully. The thing that I was kind of taken aback by while we were talking, another friend of ours, Heather, she told me that she had posted, or she'd sent me an email about this eclipse coming up and what's going on or whatever. And there's like a whole bunch of really cool information in here. However, it talks a lot about Libra, a lot. And I thought to myself, what did Maddie say yesterday about what was the tail, what was the tail that went toward the sun? What was that? Do you remember?
Yeah, she said there's a tail that's to the sun. But when she said tail to me, I saw a line come through like this, which then brought me to the gold eye. Now, the gold eye is, if you look at it, it's, you look at it symbolically, it is the horizon. It can be a fence, it's the scales, it's the tipping point. It depends where you look at this line. If you're flying above, it's a point, right? If you're here, it's a line. If you're on the other side, it can be completely flat and blanket. So it depends on your angle. If you start to spin around all the angles, now you're getting the golden compass. Now you are alleviating space and time, and you are getting a more complete sphere. It's like you're seeing the planets or the stars in a whole new way. And Maddie, so the Sabian symbol for right now in astrology is a child giving, or an innocent giving water to angels or birds. The reason that I felt that we had to speak out and I had to step away from my ego of not being in front of the camera. I had to step away and allow so that I could give back to the angels the right angles. And that's what today's about, because this will assist with the eclipse energy. It's necessary. It's called an annual. Thank you, Pamela, for telling me this. It's an annular eclipse. Anu angle a. Anu angle a. It's anu right angle. This is us. This is we're going back to the origins of the right angles, and it's us. It's in us. This has everything to do with the lunar cycle and the eclipses coming up. Yes. And they want us to prepare.
Yes.
For the eclipse. So whether this information that we share, because it's really
It's
entertaining. There's so much
activating right
after we
now.
fall.
You should see the comments. Do you see the comments?
No, I can't. If I look at the comments, I will. I'll lose. I'll lose
I'm
the
in.
base.
Okay, I'm bringing it up to encourage you, and I'll read some of them in a minute because it ties back in. I want you to finish your thought.
I said to Pam, I'm really nervous about coming on. But she said, we just do it. She's brave. Anyway, so the us preparing for this eclipse, because an eclipse effect has 6 months effect on us. They're asking us to be responsible ships and prepare for the eclipse with this information, whether it triggers you, whether it fulfills you, whether it sets you on a whole new mission of life, or whether it just entertains you and distracts you from this other information out there at the moment. It has purpose because the next eclipse is lunar.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a rattler. And this is my gift from the angels back to the angels in this sharing, so that possibly if we can even just trigger one other person, Pamela, to set intentions and use this eclipse energy and for the highest good of themselves and others, what a difference this is going to make.
Yeah.
They've been distracting us for a reason. And 2, always play at this game.
Mm-hmm.
If you can swing the pendulum this way, it always has to swing back this way. So you have this choice. So you can delve into the drama and the fear that's going on at the moment, or you can swing it this way. In what you can do, you cannot stop if there is drama around the world. You can't physically go and stop it, but you can do this. You can do this. You can set intentions. You can practice good feelings through the day. And this can be as simple as acknowledging that you're having a cup of tea in the sun. Or like Pamela said, looking at sunflowers, or enjoying your children, or looking at light reflecting on something, or having a laugh with a neighbor.
Yeah.
But the acknowledgement of the good feelings in this eclipse will empower everyone.
Yes. And it is balancing too, by the way, because that was why I was triggered by Madison and her speak about Libra, because this email talks about this eclipse over and over again. It's reference to Libra, and then some of the audience members also mentioned that, or someone did, that this particular eclipse has a lot, is leaning into toward balance into Libra. So that's really also I had no idea this was a thing. Check this link out. Oh my gosh. Thank you all for being here and for commenting. I'll try to respond to some of these too as we go. A few people had mentioned that symbol I had talked about, the circle with the dot in the middle. This is an alchemy, as well as another resource. I think astrology or astronomy. That's the symbol of the sun. And then it's also in another place, it's a symbol of gold. It just linked the sun and the gold. That's why it merged together. The 2 freaking suns, Elsa. It's back. It's back. How many times have we talked about this?
2 suns return. So, this is Todd Odin all over it, right? Yeah, it's funny. So if you look up the astrology chart, it's triangle over triangle over triangle. It's so how do you get the attention of us? You contact the 2 mummies. So the 2 mummies where we live, we've lived here for 1 year. And I've noticed that we live in the center, and there's 4 gold peaks around us. These 4 gold peaks for a whole year has just been haunting me, really. The 4 gold peaks, if you put the 4 gold peaks in the square and the circle, it's the pyramid. They flop in. I do a session with this most beautiful lady, and in New Zealand, and I did her session on the 11th of September, and there was delay after delay after delay of me sending her the session. I sent her the session on the 11th of October. I know why. It's Lotus rising. Lotus rising is the pyramid. It's the folding in of the pyramid. So a pyramid is above and below as well.
Yes.
So take the symbol of the pyramid. So you have the square and then the triangle, but then you have that mirrored below as well. So it's Lotus rising, which brings me to my next episode of Bob, because a lotus bobs up and down, like Maddie said, with the horizon through muddy waters. Muddy waters is tar, is mummy again. It overlays. Now, this does not just overlay in ancient Egypt. It overlays now in the astrology. It overlays in Fibonacci numbers. It overlays with Odin. It's the Celts now. Like, I'm sure this is overlaying in many, many other. I know it overlays in
It's
feng
the
shui.
octahedron shape.
Yeah, I just. So here's little Else on the farm with the kids going, no, this can't be possible. This can't be possible. And in one of these amazing astrologers that I watch, he has the grey heron turn up in his session. He said, and I was like, wow, okay, that's weird because that's the Ben bird. Anyway, I was becoming overwhelmed with the information, and Pamela's asleep. I'm like, great. Pamela's asleep, so I'm going to deal with this. I'm dealing with it. Okay, so I'll go for a walk. So I walk up and down. As I walk up and down, a grey heron lands in the middle of the square paddock, and I go, are you kidding me? Really? Okay. So this is where I am now. I'm unfolding this information with Pamela. Possibly to trigger, possibly to find new information or distract. Who knows what the reason being, but this will create a wave out. I know it will.
You said a lot.
I know, I'm sorry.
No, it's good. It's really
good. There's a lot to unfold, but it's good.
I've been noticing that it's 111 right now. What I've been noticing that we've been doing the most is we're showing how all of the things that we already know go together. Like, and Elsa's talking about building blocks, right? They're like, oh, they fit together. They belong together. And so we've said stuff like, Egyptology belongs over here, ancient Greece and Arcadia is another thing over here, and that just layer. And now we're seeing how they all unite, connect, and become. The octahedron comment came from SourceMade. SourceMade says the octahedron is the new divine human energy grid. And I have also witnessed this with my Merkaba. My Merkaba has changed. It changed like 2 years ago. And I just didn't understand it fully. It's easier to work with. And it doesn't have the irregular beats progression on it. So it makes it more easy to participate with. Jessica Colligan says, Libra symbol is also found in alchemy. It means sublimation or changing a solid directly to a gas. Maybe it represents us moving from a solid 3D person to an etheric 5D person. Really good comments. Thank you guys for commenting. Isn't that really interesting? Oh, and also she had said that the symbol of gold also represents this golden age that we're in. I'm paraphrasing. And the number 12, by the way, I wrote a lot of stuff about the number 12, and I would like to add something that we understand that all these symbols, and that's what we were talking about with the Egypt and Greece and stuff, they're scattered. All of the information is here. That's why we talk about, when Elsa and I have conversations, we know what we're doing is we're revealing the unhidden, because it's not hidden. It's right here. And We just need to kind of figure out, we don't need to do anything, but what we want to do, we do anyway, figure it out and find out how that fits into our world. And so we can use that energy that's being given us. And the 12 apostles, the 12 golden strands, these golden strands of DNA, they're gold. I see them as golden. They're always golden. They have like a lot of white to it, like beautiful, like it's glowing, but it's golden. This is a golden energy. These um for a very long time, a lot of us have been told, and some people don't even remember anymore. It's been a little bit ago, I guess. We were taught that 90 to 95% of our DNA was junk DNA. It wasn't useful. It was just garbage that just got left behind somehow. And now we're understanding that more and more. We have all this DNA within us. It's just that we haven't had the access or ability to utilize this DNA. So our DNA is coming out of dormancy and becoming these 12 apostles. Also, by the way, it's kind of fun side note, the shirt that I ended up putting on is the same writing from that poster back there. It's the old sea scrolls of that says God. But I kind of thought that was funny. I was like, oh, okay.
So the 12 is where I said to Pamela, I don't know enough about, but I don't know if you can pull it up, Pamela, the picture I sent you, because it will relate to what Maddie said and it will help visualize. So if you can visualize these things, this gold eye was what came up when Maddie spoke. Sorry, I called Maddie Pamela because they're like this duo. The other image is of the gold atom, and it was sent to me by the most beautiful warrior friend in New Zealand, who I call the White Rose. No, not this one. Well, this one's important. No, if you go back to that
there we
one,
go.
the other one was given the message. This is the one.
Okay. Sorry, my technologies. I spilled a whole glass of orange juice on my keyboard. My apologies.
Well, this energy makes us butterfly and nervous too, because it's new and we're not meant to hold it in. This is part of the debriefing. If we held this information in and not shared it out, this might actually literally cause us later discomfort because it was a gift from others to share. See how it's the right angels again, the right angles?
Yeah.
Okay, so on the left, we have the golden eye.
Mm-hmm.
And we have, to me, this is Libra, the scales. It's the point. It's a mast on a ship. It's the horizon. It just depends on the angle you look at it. It can be just plain. It can be a level playing field. If you're looking on top, it will be just flat like Earth, right?
Right.
So if you've only got one angle of this, you're missing all the rest of the golden compass. This one on the right is actually gold atom, and it's the highest technology they have, and it was done in August. And you count, that's a gold atom. The protons and the neurons is 12.
Wow.
It's the golden eye, but the golden eye in the promo of this chat today is the eye is gold, but the eye is actually blue. So the around the eye, it's a gold eye with blue.
Shall I show you?
That's gold. That's the picture of a gold atom, but it's coming up as blue. The hoppy blue light is calling the blue. The blue-eyed ones are the ones in Egypt.
Yes. And that's all that stuff about the blue eyes. There's a lot of stuff about this. There's a lot.
There's a lot, right? So you talk of the dot and the circle. What are we looking at now?
Right. There's a dot here and a circle.
Okay, ready? The nipple is a dot and a circle. The mammary glands is a dot and a circle. Look down on a pyramid. It's a dot and a circle. What is an ant's nest? It's a dot and a circle.
Wow.
Symbol is over and over and over. this dot and circle was not presented to me by the Annals or the Egyptians or the eye. It was presented to me through Odin's crows. One crow is the dot at home, and the other crow is circling, seeing. Comes back to
Yes.
Dr. Joe, the C, the act. So there's the act, which is us being here, doing things, and there's the witness of us, the two beings, one, the one ones, the one ones, the one ones. The matrix.
Yeah.
So they talk about the separation of us. The separation of us has been us separating all this. You put it all together and it creates these two innocents coming together, stepping out of the way of their egos with this puzzles on the ground going, I found the corner piece. I can put this piece in. I found the other piece. This piece was hiding under the rug. I got this piece. It was hiding under the rug. And so now you're putting the puzzle together. The puzzle turns into the treasure chest and it becomes a tool for us to use. Now, a tool in many different languages can come across as a weapon or an ore or a gift. Again, this is your choice. So, does this information make you mad? Does it annoy you? Does it challenge all your data energies in you? Possibly. That's okay. That needs to be rattled. That's all right. You can turn us off as well. Does this trigger you and inspire you to look for other things in you or symbols that have been coming up for you? And take these energies, look at the magic in this and use it for the eclipse, which is in 24 hours.
Yes. And so sorry, I cut you off.
No, well, the other thing that I want to, which Pamela has brought up a lot, is today is Odin's eye. It's the three coming together, the three rings. Odin, odd is black and white, and in. So we come in. We're coming in to the eye. Odin eye, the gold eye. We're coming into. So by this information coming together, I know, right? You did this.
I didn't even realize that's also an eye.
Yeah. So by us doing this information together, the ones that choose to see the synchronicities and the dovetailing, it's the gold atom 12. It's the 12 coming together.
Right.
I know. This information might rattle you and spin you out and cause you to be tired of something. And maybe that's the distraction to help you through this eclipse so that you don't wear the whole fear thing.
Yeah.
So that might happen too. Like a lot of this information, we're pulling it from here, 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 here. And Pamela and I seem to be able to just do that and it's play for us. But I realize for others, it might rattle them. It's always for the highest good.
Yeah. Yeah. Always time. Yeah.
But you can't take in stuff from Neff and Odin and the ancient Egyptians and the falcon and astrology, and you can't expect all that energy to come together and just be calm.
No,
There's got to be a little bit of a shuffle to go on.
Well, it's like we're returning to, and in order to return to, it's like you kind of pull a thing out of the mud and you kind of like pull it through your hand and the mud comes off. You know how you do, that's kind of what it feels like. It's not your hand that's doing it, but it's like as we move through, we're sloughing stuff off. I should bring up last night because so many people felt this density. It was like a thing, and like I found my desire to, throughout the evening and night, that's actually why you couldn't get a hold of me, was I finally ended up just turning everything off because I was like, I guys got to I have to disconnect all energy. I felt the need to reach out to people and see how they're doing, because it felt like there was layers of depression, and depression not being real depression. Like, I can't, you know what I mean? I don't know how to do. And it was just so abrupt how it came in. This was after you and I had spoken. And I want to talk about that. So those of you who are listening and had that experience, that it was it was felt collectively. There was a lot of people who were just in this. What it felt like was like we were doing, just like, our buddy Scott says, you got to bend your knees to jump. You got to kind of go down a little bit to go up. And that's kind of what it felt like, a lot of it. There's been a lot of amazing references that you've made, but I do want to point something out. Oh, the end of that was that I had a cute, silent white owl come to me last night, and like, it was a real owl. It wasn't like, and I was outside, and it was just, it wasn't massive. The owls we get around here tend to be quite a bit larger. So I was surprised that it was like, it was like this big, just a little guy. And it came and watched me, then looked to its right, and then looked at me for a while. It was about 9 or 10 feet away. And then it silently decided to, as soon as I decided to try to get my phone to take a picture, I was like, all right, I'm going to get my phone. It's like, poof. But I was able to wave at it, though. It was okay with me waving at it. And this changed the energy over.
So Pamela tells me, so 2 nights in a row, I have a white owl fly really close past my eyes, which was, I felt like I was being blessed by this owl. The owl stirs up energy in others. Owl can turn its head right round without moving. Owl is silent but direct when it catches its prey.
Yeah.
So I have it twice fly past, and then Pamela has it land on the slit, the horizon, the Maddie, I'm going to call it the Maddie prophecy, right? The eye, the golden eye, because he's the Libra, landing on the Libra. It'd be interesting to ask the audience. This is something I haven't questioned a lot. Pisces, Libra, and Gemini. I'm pretty sure they're the only horoscopes in astrology that have 2. It'd be interesting if it's triggering the Pisces, the Librans, and the.
You just said horoscope.
Really? Oh, I've never thought of it like that. So then Pamela tells me that she had a grey heron, open up its wings at her, like this.
And went, and then it left.
I have had a session with someone who they're doing this, opening up. This is their healing practice. This is also brings us to, this is probably going to open up a whole nother topic, but Pamela shows me these drawings of beings that presented to her, and they presented in a session, like they like this session, this session, this session, this session, and she showed it to me, and she was going, what do you get? What do you get? And I go, oh my gosh, this is alien aerobics. And I'm talking playful because we have 8 children. So talking playful with Pamela is easy. And she said, it's very weird. I don't know what do you do with this sort of information? I was like, they're showing us to open our chest plates, our breastplates. And this is what Pamela has been talking about. She's been talking about, oh, there they are. Look at them. They're anus. They're anus without the wing. This yoga pose, pushing your arms back and opening your legs. So much tension is held in your hips. Opening your hips like this, or lying on the ground and just like doing a cross-legged. So I lie on my back and just do cross-legged to open up the hips, releases so much blocked energy in your ions. So it will help assist them move. So they sent Pamela alien aerobics I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so cute, right?
I had no idea what they were. I was like, I think they're trying to make themselves look shorter so they weren't making me nervous. And Elsa's like, do you not see what's drawn there?
Well, I had been doing a similar exercises like these beings, and I was like, they're just going, okay, step one, two more, do three more, and then they go to the so I'm seeing the playful side of this. So now they're sending us tech this. So most people will go, oh, that's not alien enough, but
Mm,
this is technology that they're sending to us to support our ions through these moments.
right.
So instead of dismissing this as, oh, they're not normal aliens, or what, or how do you work out who's normal and who's not anymore, right?
Right.
So this is a healing technology sent through for us to use for this process, as is this stepping aside in our ego in this eclipse, so that you can let go of these emotions to allow the greater in.
Yeah.
You allow the greater in, you stepping into the stem, the sem, the one, the togetherness. And it's tricky stepping aside.
It is.
It is. It is tricky stepping aside. I fought with it yesterday. uh, so I'm gonna keep going, Pamela, because you're gonna love this one. So
Okay.
the Eye of Horus and the Eye of Ra has many theories on it, and they talk about the evil, and they talk about uh, um, Illuminati, and if you look at a pyramid and see in the center of the chambers, it kind of looks like the Eye of Horus or Ra. The Eye of Horus and the Eye of Ra are the same story as Odin's crows. It's also in a few other cultures as well. But basically, it's the son, I think in mythology, kills the father. You know how in mythology everyone comes back and eats each other, and then they're incest and all this sort of stuff. Get over that. Get over the ickiness of hearing mythology and just see it for the story, that the thread. Look for the thread. Look for the one of the 12 gold spots in it, right? And the thread is it's the same story, because
Right.
it's what happens is the son sees his father in himself, so he steps out of the way. So he does what the peregrine or the hawk's eye does. This is how the eye blinks on the hawk, like this. So it sees itself, it adjusts, which is where we are now, right? And then the father comes back to life again. So this is the rise and set of the sun. This is why it's lunar, and solar is very important with this information, the eclipse. So it's they speak of this in Egypt as being great healing. They use this as a tool for healing. They class it as magic as well. But back then or now or whenever it was, magic isn't magic. It was just a practice. It was daily practice. This is daily practice. This is not, and they call it a craft or art, or you can call it what you want, but it's just daily practice. It's not a big deal. It's just you bathe, you eat, you set your intentions, you set your focus, you witness yourself. Then you might bathe, eat some more, go for a walk, or go shopping. We're just saying, bring it into your practice, because magic wasn't magic to the Egyptians. It was just part of their day to day.
Hygiene. Sorry, I didn't know my mic was off.
Yeah.
It totally, and that's the message I get sometimes too, is that there are some practices that they call them spiritual technology when they come through. It's it's the same thing as what we would call, like yoga is spiritual technology. Like there's things that we do that they call spiritual technology. Um, and they compare it and they say that most of the these other energies that I interact with, because they are, they're more advanced than we are, their children, when they're able to sit up, are already practicing self-healing. They're already practicing meditation as a toddler, and so these types of things that Elsa's talking about, I'm just highlighting for that. Before I forget to do this, Elsa, I'm going to quickly share screen and show everybody this eclipse that we're talking about. So this is one example of the eclipse. You can see here, this large thick line shows you where it's perfectly a ring. So here for the US is showing, and I found Elsa and I have talked about this earlier today, and it's turning out that if you don't live within the perfect line of this annular eclipse, a lot of people are having a hard time even finding out when it's going to happen. So to let you know, it's starting at 9:13 a.m. Pacific Standard Time up here in the Oregon coast area, wherever this part of the state is. And then as it goes through, it ends here. See at the bottom of Texas, that ends at 12:03 p.m. local time, Central Standard Time. Here's another picture example of it. You can see these lines over here shows you the different representation. Like it's not a perfect ring over here, but you will see an effect of the solar eclipse the farther you go out, away from this main line. One fun little, and you can see right here the Earth example. This is where it's touching here. And so this is how it's moving. What's useful to know is that if you live in this region over here where you won't be able to really see, if it's like part of the sun is obscured, you can still get to enjoy visually seeing this happening by, did I lose Elsa? Am I live still? I don't even know. She'll be back, I'm sure. You can see this really cool shadow by putting something, like looking at the shadow on the ground. You'll be able to then see the shadow will have that same really cool like ring or half moons kind of thing looking to it. So it's really neat. There's so much that's been coming through lately. I'm sure Elsa will rejoin us, and so I'm just going to keep going because I've got some stuff too. But let's first go to these comments, because a lot of you have been saying some really useful stuff. Thank you all for participating in this conversation. The golden egg, Genevieve. The golden egg, the golden. I was bringing this up a lot too with you. I think we've been having conversations about this, whether we know it or not. But there's this. It's a golden orb. I've been seeing it a lot. I've been putting it in some of the stuff that I've been producing. But then other people, like I know that when we were having a Trinity conversation, I think it was Elsa or Todd had seen the same thing, and so we're all seeing this symbol. This symbol's becoming really important. This golden sphere, it keeps going back to the sun, right? And we are figuring out that we are the sun, that our energy really is the sun. And so if we understand that we are the sun, then we're having conversation with this sun and bringing these solar flares to us to help us. And so it's activating us and doing some really cool stuff. I really love that. Thank you for saying this, Source Man. Yes, the octahedron energy grid, it came in for me in March 2021. That's exactly when it happened for me. I'm really impressed with that. The octahedron star Earth, Earth star. It's the new Merkaba. The triad, new divine human, God's soul and body is one, balanced, one within one. And the balance word is being used again. She's trying to get back in, but she can't. That's interesting. I wonder why. Elsa, try again. Okay, let me send her the link again. Oh, there she is. Okay. And then we also have Jessica Culligan says, I have found blue represents harmony. There's a lot about this blue, the blue eye. And there was a time when they didn't, welcome back, Elsa. There was a time when they didn't know anyone, supposedly, anyone who had blue eyes represented this divinity, angelic reasoning, code, light language kind of stuff. There's always this blue thing. It's throughout all these different written references. But what I find the most fascinating is there's a claim that eyes could not be blue before the coming of the Norsemen, the Northmen, and that there were a special, this is Odin again, the eye, and we're going into this because some people are talking about the blue, and it's just really interesting to see how it's linked. There wasn't even a word for blue, a word to write the word blue in written text until like the 1400s or something. I can't remember. I'm making up a number. I'm feeling like a year, but it was surprising how long it took for anyone to even have a. So they talked about the oceans being black because they didn't have a word for blue. Welcome back, Elsa.
So our internet's just gone
It's okay.
weird. Sorry. I hope you can hear me
Yes.
and I'm not coming through to glitchy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so again, the big scary black is coming. Maddie spoke of the void. The void's like her friend. And I like this because it's again the innocent, the child giving back the gift to the angel. The angel gives Maddie a gift, or Elsa or Pamela a gift, or other people that we've spoken to in our sessions or in interviews. I mean, Todd, they give these beautiful messages, and then you share them back out.
Yeah.
For the highest good, and you step out of the way. That means you don't have all your fear and doubt. It's not about this, it's bigger than this. And
Yeah.
you step out of the way, you share that information, and you share it when it presents.
Yeah.
Like Pamela said, Pamela said to me, so you're going to bring this information out. And Pamela was saying, like, do a time next week. And I was like, yeah, okay, that sounds okay. And then the infant, while she's sleeping, this all came through, and it's to prepare for the eclipse. So I know if I hold this information in my ship or my container, it will cause discomfort. And I just got my teeth back, so I'm not going. I don't want to undo everything I've just done and go, because I don't need to test this anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just
Totally.
don't need to. You just tap in, step aside, allow, tap in, step aside, allow, or whichever way you do it, and go with the stem. Now this is a new this is a new energy. This is the superorganism of the all, or the I.
Right.
The I is the 111s. This is the us lifting the intelligence and the vibration of the nest. This is the dot and the circle.
Yeah. Did we lose you again? Something else that she brought up, we had a conversation not very long ago until she comes back in. I just remembered this, is that this whole thing about the scales of Libra, and having to do with Saturn. There's a person, I've never heard this before. It came up organically, but her name is Estrella. Did I just lose myself too? No, I just glitched for a second. Estrella. And I didn't realize that's someone until I said it out loud. And talking to, an Australian who speaks in that accent. That sounds like saying Australia, by the way. This is the name of this queen, who Libra, or that ruled when men became greedy and violent, and she fled to the stars. She appears as the constellation Virgo, where she holds the scales of justice for Libra. And I find that really fascinating because we have so many individuals and code breakers coming out of Australia right now. Australia, that's something useful and important. We have a couple of other things. So this thing about Odin's eye. Okay, we want to talk about Odin's eye because this is the eclipse is called an annular eclipse. However, every time it's come in for me, it's always been Odin's eye, and I did find several references in earlier texts of this type of eclipse. They would call it the ring or Odin's eye. Now, I don't know how many of you are familiar with this. Odin is an individual who has at least 700 names, due to the fact that there was such a presence, and he was appreciated by so many cultures and groups that Elsa, I see you in here, but I can't see your face, just so you know. So he was in this, he had 144,000. He has an absence of one eye, okay, and it's his right eye. This is also a very important symbol because the eye of Ra is the right eye. This right eye, the right angles, there's a lot of other symbolism we can go into about the Egypt and the parasite that they took into the right eye in the beginning days of the child enslavement kind of stuff that happened during this time, and started that time, around that time. This whole thing, this reference, it's a whole different thing. That wasn't Ra, by the way, when that happened. This was a different group that were calling themselves Ra. Is Odin is missing this eye. And the stories are there are three wells. Like there's a well of knowledge, the well of immortality. Can't remember the third well is right now off the top of my head. Of these three wells, wells, I never thought about it like whales swimming in the ocean, like a large blue whale, because the whale is the swimming libraries of the universe. They're here to ground the knowledge and to keep the information here. So one of those three wells, Elsa keeps trying to join, guys. I don't know if you can see it from your end. She's trying. If she can't come on, we'll just keep talking until whenever. There is a lot of different weird frequency stuff and having to do with technology. I'm finding it really hard to get my technology to work correctly. Anyway, pardon me. So Odin is told to have given one of his eyes to have the ability of to be the all-seeing. He's the all-seeing father with one eye. And so often he's depicted with a patch on his right eye in order to obscure this empty space. On Odin's tree, the tree of life, atop this tree, you will find a mighty eagle, vast, huge eagle, like a giant kind of eagle. There's a lot of symbolism upon this eagle. However, the most significant, in my opinion, at this time for this place that we're in, is that hawk sits on the third eye of Odin, or of Odin's eagle. And like she says, she's still attempting. It's okay. Take your time. And so in this place, you'll find that there's a lot of symbolism. So the eagle flies the highest in native cultures. We considered eagle to be like the great spirit kind of concept. It flies the highest, the closest to God. And then you have the hawk. The hawk is the messenger. The hawk is able to fly as high as eagle and also come down and be upon the earth. So it brings heaven to earth. Welcome back, Elsa. I see you. You're here. Good. Welcome. And so we're talking about Odin and Odin's eye, the hawk and the eagle that sit upon the tree of Odin's tree. And beneath this tree, by the way, is a mighty dragon and many serpents. And there's this cute little squirrel that runs to the top and runs to the bottom and delivers messages. The dragon and or serpent, lots of times it's depicted as only a serpent, as a large snake versus this squirrel delivers messages between these two warring, the roots and the tips of the tree, of Odin's tree. And oftentimes the squirrel will tell stories, will make stuff up to try to get them to fight, because I think it's kind of funny. It reminds me of like a little kid. Um, and then upon the trees, there are four directions. They're depicted as rams sometimes. Sometimes they're depicted as goats. Other times I've seen them as unicorns, but they are horse. They are some kind of horse. Horus. There's Horus again. And Horus, by the way, is
Ah,
hawk. So please, Elsa, welcome back. You go ahead and pick up wherever you I don't know.
oh, I'm so sorry, everyone. But this is okay. This is the AI keeping up with us. So while this is all happening, I'm doing quick clearings on the internet as much as possible to support the energies coming through with this. So this is the butterfly effect. This is not a problematic thing. I'm looking at it as this is a confirmation from now this source as well. So it's just all these sources coming in, this source, this source, this source, this source. That's why I kept asking, is the different sources that they're coming in from, is this connected possibly to the 12 apostles? The hawk is cup. The reason hawk is the fastest bird. So this is am I frozen again?
No, I
Can
hear
hear
you.
me?
Yep,
Oh,
you're good.
okay. I look. Elsa's frozen. Really? Now we're
No,
going
I'm just
into
looking
this
at you really
realm.
closely. I'm
It's just
listening.
ah, no. Well, on my screen, I'm frozen. So I'm
Oh,
going. Is Elsa really frozen? Come on. Okay. So a hawk is to grasp. A hawk doesn't. So the hawk comes into its prey and grounds, and when it comes into its prey, it's the fastest bird. Which I didn't know this until last week. Jerry told me, and but the way the hawk does it is with its huge hands,
yeah.
soles, talons, and hawk is known for its grasp on things. And I was like, wow, so this is coming back to grasping this information with the big talons, right? And again, this can be used as a weapon, like the hawk with its prey, or it can be used as a tool. It's your choice. The other thing with Horus's eye and the eye of Ra is a lot of times it was given the red and the white. Now we're coming to Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
The red queen and the white queen. Now this comes back to physics and chemistry. So these are the atoms in our body, the red blood cells, the white blood cells. Can't make this
What?
stuff up. Yeah, the Maddie slit golden eye. Are you visualizing the golden eye? Okay, now turn it to being a understanding, a table. Now we are making the eye, the golden eye. Now it's a chessboard. See how it's flat?
Mm-hmm.
Which angle are you going to come at it? Does one angle trigger you more? Does it mean you might go watch Alice in Wonderland?
Right.
In Alice in Wonderland, the blue butterfly, which is the Alexandria butterfly, of course. So now the kids get the squirt bottle out, is blue. It's the fifth element. And it's the absolute, 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 absolute says to Alice, silly girl, you don't know you are. You don't even know who you are. And she says, I know who I am. You have no idea who you are. You think it's Wonderland. It's not Wonderland, it's Underland. That's what he says to her. This comes
Wow.
back to the pyramid. Pyramids underneath. As so below, so above.
Yeah.
Tree of Horus, 10 Commandments. In the 10 Commandments and the tree, when you look at this symbol, it's the placenta, place of entry. There's no roots. It
Right.
just is.
Yeah.
Just is. this is what Bob says in the episodes with Bob. He says, just is, justice, just is.
Right.
Justice, just is. So, again, I'm pulling in all these different codes from all these different things, and I'm just mashing it together and making a big cake with it.
And that's what you're supposed to do. Look at this.
And we're just like dipping our
Like,
finger in and licking the bowl. This is the bubble bath.
yeah,
This
it's
bubble bath is.
And I wrote that a long
Pamela?
time ago.
Bubble bath.
I was looking for this for you. Remember Australia? I talked about this when you were gone, so you might not have heard me. Remember we talked about the queen who ruled? Her name was Australia. And she is okay. So it says when men became men is not having to do with gender. This is people, humans. When men became greedy and violent, she fled to the stars, appears as the constellation Virgo, where she holds the scales of justice for Libra. Australia sounds like Australia, by the way. And I have been talking about this lately a lot. It's like, dude, all of these code breakers that I've been talking to the most, most are from or currently living in Australia. And that's just like, there's something there. There's another reference that was made for you, Elsa. I think this might be an answer to your question. Jessica Callaghan says, I am a Libra and have seen a few things about this symbol. The straight line at the bottom is masculine. Yep, that's the straight lines are masculine. The line with the bump at the top is feminine. The bump is the breast or womb. Together is balance. Was that your question before?
It's you sound like an ET. The noise coming through at the moment, I'm getting echo, and I'm missing every fourth word, and I'm going, wow, okay. So I'm kind of just skimming over what you've said. I hope, Bra, when you look at the eye of Horus, so you blur your vision. It looks like a man standing on the eye. It's quite interesting.
Huh.
Yeah. So man is, again, us, like Jessica said, we're stepping out of our ego of masculine and feminine and realizing that we come together. Mm-hmm. One of the big connections with Todd was Yathrib. And Yathrib is literally before maketh man. It was when man was created, and they said that he took his rib to create woman. So like a sacrifice almost of his body part to create woman. Now this comes back to, the funny saying, is it the chicken or the egg? Who created who, when was creation? And creation just doesn't care about any of that. Creation just wants to keep creating. Right. So which one are you going to
We lost her again. The other part about this, I don't want to pick up where she left off because she's got so much more to add, I'm sure. Oh, there she is. Welcome back, Elsa. You're back. You want to pick up where you left off, or am I losing you again?
I don't have. There's no Pamela on my screen, so now you're invisible.
I'm invisible.
It's very weird. I've had this happen on other interviews, Pamela, but this one's been crazy. So, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Can you can hear me? So what to do for this eclipse? You could do the alien exercises.
You said you can do the alien exercises. So this is something that happened with me. I'll give you a story until she comes back. it's a lot of us are having these experiences, you know, um these people, these individuals are coming forward to interact with us. I'm finding it only happens at night. I think it's because I'm alone. I'm truly not alone until nightfall. And so this being approached me and did all of these different, and so I was trying to draw it to kind of explain my experience. And it was weird because they just, and so I showed it to Elsa and I was like, I would didn't know what to make of it, because see, Elsa and her beautiful family are for me my go-to place for beings, because still don't really know what's going on. I really don't. I don't. Like, I've had experiences and they've been awesome, but I'm just like, no idea. So I'll go to Elsa and she said, those are yoga poses. They're showing you what to do to prepare you. And I didn't understand it fully. And then now she was getting ready to, and now she's back to say, do the ET aerobics, I think is how you worded it.
Like a new anu AA.
Right.
And they're playing with me because, you know, this has been a tough road for so many of us. We've all had our, you know, dramas. But it's time to step aside, stop the blame, stop the drama, and support your ship here, because this is what all you have here is your breath and the water in you and your feelings. You don't get to take the money with you,
Right.
but you possibly do get to take the wisdom, the memory, the ores, the codes. Otherwise, how would we be able to tap into this now?
Yeah.
They knew we were coming. They spoke of us coming. Not me personally, but us. They spoke of us coming now. How did they know this now? They knew that we were coming, so they left us the best clues that they could for back wherever or whenever they were or are now.
Yeah.
And it's deep. Last night I was asleep, and then I couldn't sleep because this feeling of melancholy or depression or sadness is happening to me in my sleep. I'm having the same feelings that Pamela described many are having.
Yeah.
And I just think it's just touching a sense or a feeling in us that maybe has never been triggered before.
Right.
And now it's time. Now it's saying Anu. This is this Anu right angle R. That's us. It's the eclipse is to out the information.
Right. The eclipsing of
So
hearts.
what does this
Sorry.
do? Yeah. So the eclipsing, yeah. So us outing it, will this create bigger solar flares? Then more gifts come to us. So is that more comets or asteroids? I mean, Maddie's spoken about more comets coming.
Yeah. She's
Is that more
and
plasma energy? Yeah,
Maddie spoke about it, and I just barely saw. I didn't watch it. You know, you go to YouTube and there's like a bunch of stuff on the main page there, and there was something about that. That there's, I guess the question peaked was, are we in just a different part that I don't know. Anyway, so that there's a lot more debris happening out there. We're getting a lot more. We're calling more to us energetically, so we're getting more of these types of things. Also, to be useful to remind all of us that one of the things that those of us who were really struggling with this feeling last night, there was 2 steps to it. I think I lost Elsa again. No, she's here still. There's 2 steps to it. There was a conversation and a debriefing. This technology of remembering that Elsa got downloaded with during this conversation of debriefing was wow. it was such a big that this was done in the pyramids and the recollection of it, and how it was always a specific ratio of gender present. That's just how it works. It worked. And this was the releasing and the debriefing of this. And then after the debriefing thing, then what's suggested and guided to do is to remember, a lot of us have, and it's fascinating how many of us have forgotten to do this, to clear your energy. Clear your energy, like cut the cords kind of idea, and like a lot of us are not realizing that we've been connecting to other individuals and for real, and staying that, having that energetic conversation for many energies. And so then it's really hard to remember or to be in your own energy, and it gets really diluted and crazy. It's like not. And so many of you who are finding that you're struggling with this, they're just like all of this stuff going on. Clear your field, cut those cords. Just because you're cutting a cord does not mean you're saying goodbye. This feed of information that's coming through, it can't happen all the time. At this moment, right now, we're removing, and then they reconnect when they need to, right? So doing this and clearing your space and remembering to be in your own field while these energies are happening, that you're safe, everything's great. Elsa's point, I don't know if she's trying to talk to me over in Telegram, but I don't think she's able to come in. Yes, she's got some huge energies going on over there right now, she says. Yeah, and here too. Holy crap. So just remembering that some of these other individuals, like Elsa was saying, I'm not sure if she said it while we were alive or not, are actually kind of presenting themselves to try to like make us feel nervous. And it's not got anything really to do specifically with this particular solar flare. It's in order to kind of lower the frequency, the vibration of the masses, leading into the solar or the lunar eclipse, which will be on the 28th of October, in 2 weeks. And that, by the way, I don't know if anyone knows this, that during the solar eclipse, we're in a new moon right then. So we have the new moon, the solar eclipse. We got all of these energies making these connections and coming back together again. This is really good stuff. Like, this is an exciting time to be here for. Here's Elsa. The fact that we're able to be existing right now during this amazing time is an honor and a privilege and a joy, but it sure doesn't feel like it sometimes. And then you're not the only one, okay? All of us are having these different densities coming in. And I like what Aaron says. Aaron says hydrogen-based life forms are cowards, so they certainly do visit at night, when he was referring to the beings. But I meant to read the comment. If you're reading, there's a high likelihood you are oxygen-based life form, which I find really fascinating. Upload daily. Thank you, Aaron Crudson. There's a lot of 5x5 too, is in the reference that was made here. A lot of really cool stuff. Understandings that are coming forward right now, and being okay with being divinity. By the way, this is, I know that I tried to say this a couple of times over the past weeks, and I've not made a lot of sense. I've still been kind of stabilizing the energies and the frequencies. I've been really unstable. If you guys have been watching, you've seen that. I'm starting to find the stabilization. But what I've been trying to say is that you all have access to your own, to this divinity, to this divine something. And the trigger point for a lot of people is giving themselves permission to say that they're one of these characters, one of these avatars that we assign importance to, biblically speaking, energetically, spiritually speaking. And so this has nothing to do with clout. This has nothing to do with I'm important and you're not. This has to do with, look how important we all are, and that we are all directly connected to this divinity. There are thousands upon thousands of us who are getting Mother Mary coming in right now all the time, and that's an example of that. And so I just wanted to be clear of what I've been trying to say. And I think that Elsa froze up again. I should have let her talk instead of finishing my sentence. I hope she can come back. Can you hear me, Elsa? Because I can see her. I'm not sure if y'all can see her. Aaron says forest, bathe if you haven't. That I don't, I totally just, when I had land, it was really cool when there's a full moon to go and be out in that energy. You know, and in by yourself and everything. It's pretty cool. You find that you don't want as many layers on. Angie Soul says, I call for frequent light baths, especially before bed, and wrap up in pure love light. I love this. And that's exactly the idea that we were getting at, allowing yourself to not cut the cords in a permanent way, but removing the energy frequency. You don't have to be in exchange with everybody all the time. We are moving into being a collective consciousness. That's great, because we already are. It's just we're not used to it yet. So when we go into this energetic exchange, this conversation, we bring 3D with us sometimes. The 3D rules of social engaging, without there being the limit required when we talk about these social things. And so that can over exhaust the other individual as well as yourself. And it just turns into a big mess. When I pulled back and looked at what I had in front of me last night, I realized it was like a big ball of yarn of all these cords that I just hadn't successfully cleared. Wow, now I'm like glitching out. And so letting yourself just move off those energies, dude, and feel your own energy and pull back, kind of also going back to that same symbol of that circle and the dot. We are the dot. Allow yourself to cut the energy all around to this space of this outside orb of you. You're inside. Anybody can bring in a new exchange. You're clearing the energy to do the reset. We're in reset, new beginnings, the new moon. This is a time for that we sow. And in the fall is when, and in the full moon is when we harvest. What are we harvesting? The lunar eclipse. The thing that Elsa was trying to explain. The lunar eclipse is incredibly phenomenal. It's incredibly impactful. There's a lot happening about this particular lunar eclipse in the code that Elsa has brought forward. And I agree with her speculation that a lot of these, oh no, kind of stuff happening in the frequency out there right now has to do with trying to instill or enlist fear and get people to pull down into those density energies. Because like I said, remember, before I cleared off all those energy connections, those conversation ties that I didn't even realize fully, because that just became my energy. It was really messed up, dude. Wow, it was bad. It's okay. It wasn't good feeling. And so as soon as I reset, I emptied, then I didn't have to be pulling myself down into these what felt like layers of depression rapidly, and allowing myself to feel the sadness when it was there, when it came in, to allow it just to be it. You know, like it was kind of fun to be in my human for a second and go, what is this? Like, I don't feel sad. I don't typically any longer have those types of experiences. I even felt lonely at one point. I cannot recall being lonely the last time I was lonely, but you know, I have a child that I homeschool, and I have, you know, that's just how world works for me. And I felt loneliness last night. You know, it was really a very strange experience. And that was the sensation that came in at first when I cut those energy cords. And then I started to get to fill it back up with what was supposed to be in there. Remembering we're going to continue to connect to one another as this collective consciousness that we are. But at the end of the day, you know, it's time to do your hygiene, like Elsa was talking about. Vanita says, see her. Oh, this was before when Elsa was struggling. Angie Soul says, my team will now loudly ask me if I'm ready for the energy support, like when I'm feeling tense. That's beautiful. My team obviously is my highest. It's covered up by the heart thing. That emoji thing drives me crazy. Highest something whole beings. That's really cool. Thank you for sharing that. New and closing out, says Taurine territory. I like that. You know, and keeping that in mind, that today is the 13th, the Friday the 13th, and a lot of people have assigned this day as one that's not lucky, which in fact it really is. The hidden 13 is a big deal. It's funny because I actually have the 13th warrior up there in my next to I still need to watch the 13th warrior. I've been guided to watch it for like 3 months and I still haven't done it because it's like sitting down to watch a movie is just a commitment. Anyway, this 13 is really almost 2:13 right now PM right now for me too. It's been hidden. I don't know what it's like where y'all live or where I live and where I have lived over the years. The large buildings, the tall buildings that have multiple floors never have 13. It goes from 12 to 14. It doesn't have a level 13, a floor of 13. You'll find that there's rooms. You're going down the hall, 11, 12, 14, and it just goes. This happens with a lot of things. When you're drawing a ticket, whose turn's next? It goes from 12 to 14, this type of thing. 14's historically always been hidden. Why? Well, from what I understand, it's one of the most sacred numbers. I know that Todd had made a reference to the 13 grandmothers. There are 13 stargates that were in Iraq before when they called it Valhalla. I don't know how many are there now, but at one point there were 13 in one of the earlier times. There are 12 strands of DNA. However, when they all are activated and in working in unison, they become 13 because you are, just like Elsa's always saying, you're the fifth element. We're the fifth element. So are we as we connect these frequencies. What to take away from this is, I would say, that this is a beautiful time. This is a beautiful time. It's a reset time. However dense and uncomfortable last night felt for the few hours that I had that experience, it was very, very, very useful. And I'm very grateful that it occurred, that the way that it did. And, for any of you finding this, it feels contrary. You feel like because you're feeling lonely for one reason or another, and then, she's not able to join. She's been trying to, but it's this, it feels contrary when you're feeling that lonely to do that reset, that disconnect of all those energies, but it's actually what was needed, at least for me, and so just remembering the spiritual hygiene, disconnecting and staying disconnected, doing this nighttime thing and daytime, whenever, and brushing off the energy cords of the individuals that connect with you isn't something rude. You can still have a conversation with them tomorrow and they're not going to be offended, and that's something that's really useful to keep in mind. And so as we reset and we allow ourselves to be in our own frequency and our own energy, then we can pull in the frequencies that are meant to and designed to assist us specifically, and so each one of us, knowing that each one of us has divinity and is divine, that these energies are just activating what's already there. You're already powerful. You're already amazing. You already have access to all this. That's why we can see these codes. That's why we can see it. That's why it's activating, is that we're aware somewhere inside. This now coming out of dormancy DNA is showing it to us in one way and another. So keeping this in mind, this is a beautiful time. Any of these things that do come forward to try to distract from the energy is called noise with a capital N. When I get this energy from spirit, noise means something that's trying to distract you, trying to get you to go, hey, look over here, feel bad instead, so you don't see the cool thing that's happening, that kind of thing. And so keeping that in mind, and holding that frequency, this solar eclipse is bringing energy to sustain us and to assist us for the next 2 weeks, to assist and let the flourishing of what we have sown, what we have planted, the seeds we had placed today and the next couple of days, so it can come into fruition for the full moon, which is also the lunar eclipse on the 28th of October, which is just in a couple of weeks from now. So tomorrow's the solar eclipse. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be cool. And it's the ring, my precious. It's pretty neat. I'm really excited for all this to happen. For those of you who aren't aware, every Friday, including today, I host a free Zoom gathering where everybody can join for free. It's just 2 hours long, just a bunch of us chit-chatting and having a good time. Star seeds, light workers, whatever name you assign yourself on this awakening journey. You don't have to have your camera on. You don't have to have your audio on. It will not air. It will not be recorded. And this will just be a place where we can connect and, kind of work some of this stuff out, and let yourself use your throat chakra, activating this. There was something that, is just so important about speaking your truth, whether it be in public or in groups. And so this is just an awesome place to do it. If you're inclined, please find my link to this in my community section of this YouTube channel. You can also find the link in Facebook and in Telegram, or we have a Telegram group, which should be, oh wait, you know what? I don't think I've actually put a description on here yet because we just went live, but I will go back and in that description, you can find our other information. So yeah, you'll find our Telegram group is in that description. This group is about 400 people or more from all over the planet that just connect and compare notes and don't have to feel alone anymore. So if you're interested and inspired, please join us in our Telegram group. October 22nd is a question. What do you know about what's happening energetically on October 22nd? Says Christina. Christina, I know something's going on with that day too. I just don't know what it is. I know it's important. There's a bunch of orbs involved. That could mean anything. Planetary alignment. It could mean that's just what it looks like for me. I don't know. That is in between between the solar eclipses. So that would be why it would be so important. So most of what I say, I don't fully understand either. It's information that's coming through and I'm just like a delivery system. I don't mind that. I'm okay with being along for the ride and kind of being on autopilot. And so people come to me thinking I'm so wise and I'm just sharing and saying what I'm being shown. And often it's reference to things I have seen before, but I didn't know that they connected until I was guided to show it. And so I'm really like all y'all. Like I really don't know a lot of what's going on. I do know when things are going on. I just don't know how to describe or explain them completely. I'm okay with that because I get to be part of the human experience. I get to, not know what's going to happen at the end of the book exactly. Maybe I've seen the trailer and so a little bit more, but it's a fun ride. It's one worth being on. It's a time and a place that is so full of joy and connection and connecting, so much of this returning to and all of this separation is not real. It's an illusion. And as we see this as the illusion that it is, we start to get to see that we're how truly one we all are. And just because we're connected in this oneness way, doesn't make it easy right away to figure out how to be that one, and so to feel into the energy and notice when you're bringing your identity along. Like if I'm bringing Pamela with me and connecting this way, rather than bringing my true energy, then it gets diluted or convoluted or messed up in some way. And so it's just this art form that we're discovering. Anyway, ramble. I love you all so much. It's 222. Vanita, it's great that you stay as an open channel to allow all the info to flow in. Though, thank you very much for saying that. It's just, yeah, like I'm cool with not being important, but I mean, like, not what I mean by that is like there's other individuals who could do what I'm doing. It's like just as easy, and it's just saying what's coming through, it's not, you know, and together as the imperfect beings that we are, we can find out, to understand, and to be, and to do in the energy that we're meant to. And you know what? I'm okay with screwing it up sometimes. I'm okay with getting it wrong sometimes. Misinterpreting can happen when we let our ego get too involved. And my ego has been getting involved because I've been trying to hold back. And I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to hold back anymore. I love you all so much. And I hope that you join me. I hope that you join me in our Zoom meeting in an hour and a half, or almost an hour and a half. I love you all. Thank you all for joining. Yes, we each have a piece of the puzzle, Vanita says. And I love that. I love that. It's exactly right. And like Elsa says, sometimes there's a piece of the puzzle that's hidden under the couch, and then when it comes into being, it's like everybody's like, oh, and that's what's happening, is that we're all finding ourselves, and we're finding that we're a very important, lastly, before I forget, this symbol goes to the symbol that they showed me last night. It was really funny. It was a really funny exchange I was having with spirit with, is that, so they're like, okay, what's the most important part of the wheel? And I know that the axle is not part of the wheel, but I was like, the middle part. And they're like, well, that's the children, that's different. And so I was like, okay, well, I mean, I don't see anything that's more important, obviously, and that's all of us. And we're all this will. We're all a cog. We're all a part that creates. So what happens if one of those parts is missing? Well, then a balance has to be had, of course, but it's most useful, it's most effective when all cogs are in place. There's a more traveling that can be done. There's just confidence, and it's a better working machine, if for lack of a better word at the moment, mechanism, and so letting yourself be, each of us, part of this will. I keep going, like flickering out. I'm not sure if y'all can see that, but anyway, I'm out of here. I hope to see you in an hour and 35 minutes. If not, I'll see you live on Sunday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I love you. You got this. It's okay. This is an amazing, awesome time. Try some meditation, bathing, candles. I'm all about the candles right now.